it was upsetting because the whole world now speaks about freedom of choice, and they ask everyone to express themselves and everything. So when I saw this, I felt that why specifically this happens with hijab. It was very upsetting, to be honest.
First of all, it's a violation of the Olympic Charter, and we are here at the Olympics, and so you shouldn't be violating the Olympic Charter as the host nation. It's also a violation of the fundamental right to freedom of religion. Athletes shouldn't have to choose between their religion and the sport that they love and excel at. And then finally, it's a violation of women's rights because these are women who are being discriminated against and excluded from sport.
I'm proud because I'm showing that hijab is not a barrier. You can practice sport while wearing hijab. You can be Olympic athlete while wearing hijab, and you can look good. You still take care of yourself, of how you look, of how you tie your hijab. So that's it.
Refugees are welcome here. On the streets! On the streets! On the streets! Off the streets!
We want to unite. We want to send a clear message that these are our streets. We've worked hard to create unity, and we have a community. We're not going to let fascists, we're not going to let racists and the far right march here.
It's absolutely disgraceful, and I'm standing here against that, and with the community here to show that, you know, we're totally opposed to fascism then, and we're totally opposed to fascism now.
I can't believe it's happening again. I was around in Thatcher years. I can't believe you used to get up in the anti-Nazi marches, and here we are again.
A situation that we can. Refugees are welcome here. On the streets! On the streets! On the streets! Off the streets!
We want to unite. We want to send a clear message that these are our streets. We've worked hard to create unity, and we have a community. We're not going to let fascists, we're not going to let racists and the far right march here.
It's absolutely disgraceful, and I'm standing here against that, and with the community here to show that, you know, we're totally opposed to fascism then, and we're totally opposed to fascism now.
I can't believe it's happening again. I was around in Thatcher years. I can't believe you used to get up in the anti-Nazi marches, and here we are again.
A situation that we can. Good afternoon, Wisconsin!
Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris and running mate Tim Walz made a campaign stop in Wisconsin on Wednesday, testing the Minnesota governor's Midwestern credentials.
Now look, we're pretty neighborly with Wisconsin. We get our friendly battles, but in Minnesota, just like in Wisconsin, we respect our neighbors and the personal choices they make.
Adding the folksy former football coach to the Democratic ticket makes the duo formidable against Republicans Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, says Jennifer Lawless, who teaches political science at the University of Virginia in Charlottesville.
I think it's as strong a team as the Democrats could have hoped for. When Kamala Harris burst onto the scene 2 weeks ago at the top of the ticket, she had a sense of enthusiasm and optimism and electricity that we haven't seen in presidential politics in quite some time. And Tim Walz has those same kinds of qualities. He's upbeat, he's optimistic, he's future-looking. And together, that really makes them funny and sunny. And I've been saying that's a big juxtaposition to what we see in Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, where a lot of their rhetoric and a lot of their speeches come across as sour and dour.
Trump and Vance have sought to portray Walz as too left-wing, echoing their criticisms of Harris. In an interview on Fox News Wednesday, Trump called Walz a radical liberal and claimed he was, quote, thrilled Harris had picked him.
Oh, it really is good to be back in Wisconsin.
Harris and Walz holding events in both Wisconsin and Michigan on Wednesday is part of a tooth-and-nail effort to turn out their own voters in the two battleground states and win over those who are still undecided.
It's going to be won in the battleground states. But in those battleground states, there are two sets of voters who matter. The first are the base voters. Democrats and Republicans need to make sure that they get out their voters in all of those battleground states. The only reason that independents and swing voters in those states matter are because the bases are roughly equally matched. And so Kamala Harris has to do everything she can to up voter turnout among Democrats. Trump has to do that among Republicans. And then they have to fight for those people who still haven't made up their minds.
Democrats regard Wisconsin and Michigan as near must-win states in this year's election. Wisconsin and Michigan have loomed large for the party since Hillary Clinton's unexpected defeats there helped clinch Trump's 2016 presidential win.
So I'm looking forward to going back home and see what's happening and how we can organize ourselves to get out of the trouble that we're in. Thank you very much. Sorry, camera.